All right, the Invictus Games wrapped up on the weekend as a big week awaits the rest of the royal family. We're joined once again this morning by our royal expert, Patricia Treble. Patricia, good morning to you.
Good morning, Jeff.
Okay, the Invictus Games came to a close with a really emotional speech from Prince Harry. Can you tell us a bit more about that? And now that the games are over, what lies ahead for both Harry and Meghan?
Harry's end of the Invictus Games speech is always kind of a showstopper. And he was talking about these are competitors who've been wounded, right? And they're coming back from a lot of physical and mental wounds. And so he was talking about them. He says, the past pain doesn't define you. It's what you do now, what you do in the future. And there was just huge applause because he knows these people, he loves them, and he just gives them this push to keep going, which is what the Invictus Games is all about.
So heartwarming for sure. This is going to be a busy week for the royals. Let's begin with Kate. She made a visit to one of the busiest airfields in the UK in her new role.
So she is, wait for this, Commodore-in-Chief of the Fleet Air Arm. So if you're wondering, you're kind of going, what the heck? Royal Navy, it's their aircraft division. And this is a new role for Kate. The King has been redistributing all the royal roles, military roles, because you've had the Queen, late Queen has died, Prince Philip, Harry and Andrew gave up roles. So there's been a lot of these big prominent roles that have been waiting, and he's been redistributing. And this is one for her. It's a brand new one for her. Very high profile. This used to actually be Andrew's because, of course, he served as a helicopter pilot in the Falklands War. And so she was off at Yeovilton, which is a massive air base, and they do a lot of training. And actually, the King did his helicopter training at Yeovilton way back in the day, because you forget he's a helicopter pilot just like his sons are. And so she was, putting on the life jacket. She's doing, simulations and stuff like that. She was even getting, aircraft to land. But she's really comfortable with this because, of course, she was the wife. William served as a helicopter pilot for the RAF. So this is kind of old hat. It's a perfect job for her.
All right. Well, she is busy, Kate, with that today. Coming up tomorrow, as we mentioned, it is a busy week for the royals. Prince William, he will be in New York to take part in the second Earthshot Summit.
Yep. So he lands today. He meets with the UN Secretary General today, but the big event tomorrow is the big summit. And this is all timed very specifically. This is the meeting of the UN General Assembly. So everyone is in town. It's when you never go to New York in UN General Assembly week because you can never move around because it's all dignitaries. And so the big summit, the Bloomberg Philanthropies are co-hosting it, which is a sign of how prestigious it is. And you're going to have people talking there like Jose Andres, World Food Kitchen. You're going to have Bill Gates and a whole bunch of others. And you're going to have the previous prize winners from the Earthshot Prize are going to be there talking with all these business people and these investors and philanthropists and talking about the big environmental issues of the day.
So while William is in New York, it looks like the King and Queen will be heading to France for a state visit there.
Exactly. So, and everything is timed precisely. So you have Kate today, you've got William tomorrow. Wednesday, the big thing is the King and Queen. So they were, on the weekend, they were at the races, nice and relaxing. Their horse came in third, I'm afraid to report. But then Wednesday, state visit. And it's France, and it's full-on pomp, full-on ceremony. The French seem to vie with the British for this sort of thing. So you're going to have, and interestingly, Charles will address the National Assembly. And it's the late Queen, now she had several state visits there, never did that. So this is one of the things he says. But the big event is going to be the state banquet at Versailles, because that's a full-on grand event.
I don't know if we can pull back that photo of the King and Queen.
We're going to talk some royal fashion here.
No, I just need to, I don't think I've ever seen any queen show that much expression. Like, I guess they're cheering on their horse, or but I've never seen. I never saw Queen Elizabeth.
Oh no, at the races. Only at the races.
Would see?
Oh my goodness, she would go crazy because she adored racing, and they were really a bit afraid that would the next generation love it as much as she did. Oh yeah, she was mad for racing and would do anything to go there, and was just completely. The expressions of her at the racetrack were bar nothing you've ever seen.
Yeah,
really?
I was going to make note of the hat. I know a lot of people have been talking about
I like it.
Hat, right? Yeah.
I like it.
And let's go from hats to tiaras. Are we? I know they're your favorite, Patricia.
I know, I love
Are we
tiaras.
going to see in the state visit perhaps Camilla with a tiara or two?
So we're hoping. Fingers crossed, because Versailles. The Queen always, the late Queen used to always wear them for her, state banquet. So I'm hoping she will. She did when she was in the state banquet in Germany, and I'm really hoping that she wears one of the late queens because she's been breaking into the royal jewelry vault. It is not a box; it is a vault, and I really want her to wear one of the late queens.
All right. Meanwhile, there's also on the fashion front perhaps some big change coming for Kate.
Oh, this is huge news. Sarah Burton, the designer, is leaving Alexander McQueen. And of course, she's most famous because she did Kate's wedding dress, right? This is probably her most iconic thing. And since then, she and Kate have designed pretty much all of Kate's outfits for big events. And so now what's going to happen? Is she going to go to another house? Is she going to set up her own place? And if not, what is Kate going to do?
By the way, including the biggest event, her wedding. Did her wedding dress
coronation. The coronation as well. That was Sarah Burton. So,
well, we'll see if that partnership endures.
I hope so.
Okay. Thank you, Patricia.
You're welcome.
All right.